Hello, sir. What's your name?
Brett with Boho Vans.
Shark Tank experience. What was the single biggest lesson you learned from presenting on Shark Tank, and how did Barbara's mentorship shape the next steps?
So I think the biggest thing we took away was you need to be prepared, you need to have a plan, and I think that factors into, owning a company, right? And having a plan for what direction you're taking the company and being really validated as far as people being interested in your product helps us with our clients. And when we were on the show, being validated by the Sharks was pretty overwhelming as well.
Scaling the business, your company blends buying, building, and renting camper vans. Which of the business has grown the fastest, and why?
The building of the vans for clients has grown the fastest. We put vans into our rental fleet as fast as we can build them, fitting them into our actual build schedule. But the building for clients has actually been a great thing for us to innovate, and customers and clients coming with new ideas and options for us to incorporate in our builds has really expanded the company into kind of new avenues, higher levels of technology and treatments and features that are always really exciting for us to stay on the leading edge.
What makes Brett Boho Camper Van different from others on the market, both design and customer experience?
We put a unique touch on your customer experience by you getting to make the vehicle actually feel like your own. And as we build them, we want them to be inviting and comfortable. And that's our paramount thing, that first quality, and then get it so the customer feels like it's truly theirs.
Partnership and mentorship. Barbara has a reputation for helping entrepreneurs think bigger. What's one piece of advice from her that completely changed your mindset?
I would say she is shoot from the hip. She gives us a lot of great advice as far as trust your gut. When you trust your gut and you believe in yourself, that's something that it's hard to beat, and just run with that idea, and don't be afraid to pivot. So I guess two answers on that. Trust your gut, but don't be afraid to pivot when you find things are maybe not going right, or they are going right, and then just keep pushing that direction.
Okay, I'm going to do it real quick. Let's take a look at the back and your setup here, and please let me know about that. Tell me about this, please.
So we built this van in partnership with Matterborn Batteries. We've been using them for over 7 years. Mainly we happened with our rental fleet, helping have the batteries be a non-issue. This system is using Matterborn's new intelligence batteries, that you can actually Bluetooth to the battery to make sure that each battery is staying in good health. What we have here is a 48 volt battery bank that is being charged by the wake speed system when we're running the van. That is a bi-directional charger, 12 to 48 volts, and it actually helps supplement power back to the engine battery if the engine battery actually needs it. There's two other ways that we're charging. We're charging off of our Multi-Plus 48 volt inverter charger by Victron, and then we also have 1,000 watts of solar up on the roof. So we have two arrays of 48 volts coming in, right? So we seriesed two 250 watt panels that are 24 volts, and then we bring both of those in parallel. A lot of terminal technology here, but we're coming in at 48 volts. So we're charging at 48 volts. One, it's the most efficient way that we can drop the voltage, get lower amperages on our wires, and it just allows for a very, drops the temperature for certain componentry and just makes things much more efficient by running at this 48 volt. Another thing is we're running a 48 volt air conditioner by Cruise and Comfort. 48 volts running a 19,000 BTU air conditioner is only running at about 20 to 22 amps. Super efficient. We can turn this thing into an ice box. But we also have a heater, so if you needed to heat it up, we can do that as well.
So this can be off-grid for how many days straight?
Depending on usage, right? So that, but we can easily, with this system, people could go, I would say, weeks by being friendly with it, because we have systems that are a quarter of the power for our rentals, that only have 400 amp hours of battery of the Matterborn batteries, and customers go out for 5, 6, 7, 10 days. And it's because we're supplementing the power by charging when you're driving, as well as charging from the solar panels when you're parked in a nice campsite, that you don't really have to plug in. and we tie our systems, and we make our systems work with whatever the customer's real needs are. That's how we size our battery banks and our charging capabilities.
Nice. And anything you want to speak on about why did you go with lithium iron phosphate versus AGM or lead acid, and what are the biggest advantages for van owners?
So we can speak on both because we actually started our company with AGM batteries, so lead acid battery. That what happens is when the cells get depleted down too far, you start just damaging the battery, and then the battery loses capacity over time. And with the lithium iron phosphate that we found with the paddle-borne batteries, even when the customers drain them down, our renters, no fault of their own, they just don't know exactly how they're beating things up, but hey, fair enough. They can drain them down, and paddle-borne batteries actually have their own BMS inside of them. It'll shut the battery off, protecting the battery and making sure that the cells stay in good health. And then all we got to do is charge them back up. You also gain basically 100% capacity of your battery to be able to be used, to where an AGM battery, you're only really at about 50%. So when you actually look at the amp hours to cost, it's kind of the joke that they always say is like, it's the cheapest battery that you're gonna buy because you get to use your whole battery. And then another part of us really going with paddle-borne batteries is they give a 10-year warranty on the battery, which is really a benchmark in the industry to show that they're standing behind the quality of their product.
How do you determine the right battery capacity for customers? Is it based on appliances, climate, or lifestyle?
So you answered every question there within your question that we're asking you, what do you prioritize? Air conditioning, heat, do you want to run a lot of hot water? We built a dog grooming van that had a 3,000 watt dog dryer, which we thought was a lie to begin with, and then we saw, yes, that's the case. We actually built a 24 volt system with a 5,000 watt inverter in that van. But for non-animals, some people are kind of animals, but we build it tailored exactly to what you said. We build it how you're going to use it, and we don't need to build it with a $29,000 electrical system. We can build it with a much more scaled down system that's really going to suit your needs and get it so you get more money to do travels out on the road.
What future innovations, what advancements in off-grid power system are you most excited about?
I would say if there's any kind of leaps in solar charging, that would probably be one. The DC to DC charging off of the engine and alternators that you can put an auxiliary alternator on for charging capabilities, that's kind of there, but they are leveling that up to where you can get higher capacity DC charging for your house battery banks, so that's a good one as well. So it's always positive to see those improvements. Shore power is shore power. We can come in and we can really get after the system when we want to charge up real aggressively. But I think solar would be the next thing to see. If there is something around the corner, that would be fun to see.
And last question, lithium systems aren't cheap. How do you explain the long-term value of investing in higher quality battery bank for your customers?
For us, proof is in the pudding. We know that they're going to last. We have systems that have been on the road for going on 7 years, where our customers use them recreationally or even living out of them, and little to no issue with any of our batteries that we put in. Maybe we've had a warranty battery here or there, but as far as paddle-borne's reputation goes, they stand behind their actual warranty. We've always had a customer within maybe a day or two have a new battery at their front door. For us, we've only seen the batteries work and work effectively, and with the cost of not buying new batteries, within labor of reinstalling batteries, and just them being out on the road and working flawlessly, it's a no-brainer for us.
All right, sir. Well, any last answers or anything you want to speak? Give us social media. Give a shout out.
So you can find us. It's Boho Camper Vans. We're Boho Vans on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And we're based out of Tempe, Arizona. We have a rental fleet. We also build for end user clients. We'd love to have anybody stop in and see us and try to, give us some miles on the road with our product.
going to take you up on that. All right, well, sir, thank you so very much. I'm traveling for events, and this has been an amazing time.